Yo guys, and welcome back towards this new stream here on the channel. And on today's stream, guys, I will be talking about Bitcoin because it's absolutely flying. It is flying right now. Bitcoin is moving up in a pace pretty crazy right now. We can see it's moving up in a very rapid pace towards the upside, and right now I am starting to get very excited because, guys, if we're going to zoom out, and of course I've made already earlier today an update, and of course I made a promise to you guys out there that I will be streaming always once Bitcoin is going to create an interesting move on this market, and I will be keep up that promise with you guys out there. So what we're essentially seeing right now is that Bitcoin on the 4-hourly time frame, you can see it's moving up again from our downward upper sloping support line. It's moving up towards a higher region, and we're coming closer and closer towards a breakout point for Bitcoin. And Bitcoin is going to create a massive move. And also look at the volume decreasement over the course of the time, right? You can see the orange line is basically the average volume that Bitcoin has been trading. And you can see the average volume is coming down and down and down. In a consolidation phase, Bitcoin is just going to have a massive move in the coming few hours ahead of ourselves. Also looking, not few hours are coming, potential 4-hourly candles and of course potential days ahead of ourselves. Looking at the volatility index on Bitcoin, we are expecting definitely that the volatility is going to turn up here, maybe already today, maybe tomorrow, but most certainly in towards next week, we are going to see some higher volatility come back for the Bitcoin market because, volatility has stayed low, quite low for the past, let me see, this is already, 12 days for Bitcoin. Pretty low volatility for Bitcoin over here. Of course, we had this massive wick towards the lower side, massive volume spike, but after that, we have been basically going sideways. And while we have been seeing this sideways action for Bitcoin, this choppy sideways action for Bitcoin, we have been seeing a massive amount of wheels stepping in towards the market. That is making itself, for myself, very interesting to see what we're doing. And it makes also, and gives me the confirmation that we are currently seeing that shift of weak hands to strong hands, of course. Also, looking at the volume, we've still got another 2 hours to go here on this 1-hour candle. We can see, 4-hourly candle. We can see that the volume is definitely increasing right now here. And on last 1-hourly candle, we saw a massive spike in the weekend, guys. And that's a very nice thing to see. A massive spike across the volume here as well for the Bitcoin chart. So yeah, Bitcoin is really moving up here right now. And I am starting to get very excited. Of course, I will be taking a trade towards the upside if we do decide to be breaking bullish off this symmetrical triangle. And guys, look at this. This is going to be a massive trading opportunity. This is going to be basically suggesting a massive move for Bitcoin, either up or down. And of course, guys, we are moving up on the short term right now, but Bitcoin has not broken out yet here. We have to stay very patiently. We have to be waiting a little bit here to see which direction we're actually going to be breaking towards. But look at your screen right now. Bitcoin is just on the edge of creating a massive market movement, and it is going to be definitely towards the up or downside here, and it is definitely going to be decided either today or tomorrow. So it's going to be very interesting on how that is going to be playing out. We were earlier today looking at some kind of a channel here on the 1-hour time frame, more kind of a bearish bias channel. You can see we created a move down here, formed a bear flag, essentially, you can call it like that, and we broke out bullish. So also Bitcoin on the lower time frame is really showing that strength. And guys, we have been talking about it on the previous streams already. Bitcoin is just range trading right now. It is trading between, of course, the lower side of support where it's bouncing back towards the upside from, and of course that top side resistance where it is basically bouncing towards the lower side once again towards. So it is definitely range trading, Bitcoin bouncing between the highs and the lows, and we're just waiting till we're going to be breaking either through that top side, right, or either through that lower side to really can say, okay, right now we are bearish, right now we are bullish, right? That's the real thing we're waiting for to say. So looking pretty interesting to see, looking pretty interesting right now. Also, if we're going to look, and some people already were talking about this right here. This is a very interesting chart. Many of these investors right now out there in the space are talking about Bitcoin has to go down to 22K, Bitcoin has to do this, Bitcoin has to fall further, and I just can't get my head over it. I just don't agree with everyone that says Bitcoin has to come down to the 22K here in order to come up again eventually towards new all-time highs. I don't think that's necessarily true. Last time around we did touch it was on the pandemic crash here, the 200 weekly moving average, but look at this trend line we're also forming, right? We are forming essentially an upward sloping support line, and if we're just taking in account that the pandemic crash was of course a huge fake out, because all markets recovered very quickly from it, and of course it was basically a black swan event in the market, right? Right now, of course, we are having the Luna correction, and we're still holding on towards this upward sloping support line, right? We are having a touch point over here, touch point over here, touch point over here, touch point over here, and once again, we formed another touch point over here. So is this the low of the market, and are we going to right now move further on from here on? I mean, I think it's pretty likely, also taking consideration the weekly time frame, right? We are going to close that weekly candle in exactly 13 hours from now on. And we have not been able to close a weekly candle below that 30K range for Bitcoin. Since when? Since, let me see. The 20th of December 2020, we've never closed a weekly candle below 30K ever again. So that is pretty interesting to take in consideration, guys. Do you really are going to be betting against the odds? And also look at this, this Fibonacci retracement, right? We are setting up from low to high, and you can clearly see we are currently bouncing from off that lower region. That's 0.618 here on that Fibonacci, and 0.618 here is also in a retracement, the golden pocket for Bitcoin. So are we once again going to be bouncing from here on? It could be, of course, a very likely event, and I see that I don't connected it perfectly, but you can see over here right now it is connected perfectly from low to high, and you can see we are so far still moving up from off this region, just like Bitcoin did all the way back in January 2021, and just like Bitcoin did all the way back in June 2021 here. So once again, will it happen again? That is going to be the question that we remain to be seeing right now, and hopefully we're going to be having an idea where we're going to head towards. Those that are saying Bitcoin 100K are saying 10K, etc. They have no clue. I mean, it's true. Many people that, of course, were saying Bitcoin is going to go towards 100K on the top side. And I mean, I'm still saying it as well. Bitcoin is going to go towards 100K. It's an inevitable event. It is going to be happening. It's just a matter of time, right? But all those people, and I can just see it, and I just see it on Twitter, I just see it on YouTube. So many people are saying Bitcoin has to go to 22K, Bitcoin has to fall down to 20K, and some people are giving me ridiculous targets around Bitcoin is going to fall down to 9K, Bitcoin is going to fall down to 6K. And guys, you want to know, I was around there back in 2018, back in 2017, you know what they were saying to me? They were all saying in 2018, this correction, Bitcoin is going to fall down towards $100. Bitcoin is going to fall to $400. Many people said it over there as well after the correction happened. You know, I think it's pretty weird if you're going to call for very extreme low targets after the correction already happened. You can see over here, if I'm going to zoom out, right? We're going to set up this chart. So we're going to look at the massive corrections on Bitcoin. We can see over here, we had this 63% correction from high to low. You could also just argue like this, 47% correction from high to low. Here we saw 52% correction from high to low. Here we saw, let me see this correctly. Sorry, here we saw 55% correction from high to low. Here it was, of course, that 52% correction from high to low. We're always sitting in that 50% region, right? Here, of course, was a little bit more worse, 63% correction from high to low. Here we saw, of course, from high to low, an approximately also 53% correction from high to low. And of course, guys, do know there are more institutions involved in Bitcoin. These corrections are getting less and less heavy, right? Here also 69%. Guys, the chance of Bitcoin really bottomed out already is just extremely high. We already saw the max pain for Bitcoin. A drop of 47% is very significant. And I just don't think it's going to be likely to right now say, okay, Bitcoin is going to right away fall another 50%. Yes, it could be for sure happen. Only the thing to take in consideration right now for Bitcoin, and I've said this several times before, guys, there are pretty interesting developments right now in the market. We are seeing that bullish divergence getting formed from oversold territorium, and many people call you a moon boy if you call for a bullish divergence that is currently getting created from oversold territorium. And historically speaking, if we're going to zoom out on Bitcoin, always once you're creating a bullish or bearish divergence from either that oversold or overbought territorium, what you can see over here, overbought, bearish divergence, extremely heavy reaction towards the downside. Bullish divergence from oversold territorium, extremely big movement towards the upside, right? So we are seeing it once again happening, but people just call you moon boy because, yeah, they just want to see Bitcoin. They always want to be hearing what they want to be hearing. That's just always happens in this market. And if Bitcoin moves up, people want to hear you are bullish. If the market goes down, people want to hear you say you are bearish. That is just always how it goes in this market. And of course, also here on the top side, once Bitcoin creates a bearish divergence, once that is overbought, it tends to be a stronger reaction towards the downside. It is always historically been so, and that is just once again playing out right now. And also, more importantly, I am not saying Bitcoin necessarily has to be pumping up towards 60k from now on. No, I'm only saying that I'm expecting that Bitcoin is at least going to create a movement up towards this 35 to 37k region. I am expecting that Bitcoin is going to be creating this move here towards this region over here, and then we're going to just decide what we're going to do next, right? We're not going to have a free fall all the way down right away in one leg towards the downside. That's not my opinion. Or, of course, there could be another black swan event happening right here. We're going to create a big wick on the lower side and then going to be moving up again here. So, yeah, make up your mind, make up your own strategy. But I personally think it's going to be more likely to, first of all, get a dead cat bounce or at least a relief rally for Bitcoin. And then, of course, we're going to discuss what we're going to do afterwards. Are we going to sell that movement towards the upside? Or are we just going to stick with our coins and are we going to look for long position? That's really depending on how Bitcoin is going to develop on that point. I just can't say that yet. But of course, what will be very bearish for Bitcoin, let's say we are going to have that relief rally. And like you can see, Bitcoin has been forming that lower high, lower low strategy, lower high, lower lows across this market. So yeah, it is currently in a more bearish bias market structure. You can clearly see lower low, lower low, lower low, and then of course also on the top side we are also forming these lower highs, right? So if Bitcoin is going to come up again over here, forms a lower high and comes down further, it is going to be just a very bearish trend. But give me a second. So that's going to be a very bearish trend for Bitcoin. So we just have to wait and see how that is going to exactly play out right now. But yeah, if we're going to be breaking above this high and of course form a higher high than this previous high, this is going to be of course our bullish signal for Bitcoin. If Bitcoin just breaks above this previous high over here and it can do that, then we're going to be talking about, okay, Bitcoin is entering potential new strong markets and Bitcoin is potentially entering, of course, that new bull run, right? That could be definitely happen. Of course, many people say, oh, market cycles, we can only have a bull run every 4 years. No, that is not true because we right now got bigger institutions involved. We've got extreme high inflation and people are going to look for a safe haven and probably many people are going to look for the digital gold because, yeah, for all these digital currencies, we need a digital standard, right? Like we had for gold, it was the standard behind the currencies. It will be, of course, the digital gold for the digital currencies. So I personally think that many big investors, many smart money is moving into Bitcoin, and of course, we can see that happening from the number of addresses holding more than 10k Bitcoin. We can see it happening, but all other kinds of things, right? So my strategy still remains the same. If Bitcoin is going to fall, I will be buying more. If Bitcoin increases, I will be buying more. I dollar cost average every single day more into Bitcoin because I am having that vision for the long term, right? I think the big gains are still just going to come in 4 years from now. I don't think the big gains are going to come tomorrow. I don't think the big gains are going to come next month. No, the big gains are going to come in towards, let's say, 2026 or maybe even later, right? So I am really preparing for that right now here, and that is why I like to be buying Bitcoin more every single day. But look at this movement towards the upside. And guys, more importantly, look also at the volume really coming in towards this market right now. Bitcoin is creating very decent volume also on this next 1 hourly candle right now. Of course, a lot of people potentially selling their Bitcoin off right now on this rally. And that is, of course, the loveliest part about it. So I will be definitely monitor this 4-hour downward slope resistance line because this could be, of course, result in a massive trade. I am already open some positions, right? I am expecting actually, of course, the more likeliest move to where we are heading towards is going to be a breakdown. But I've been speculating a little bit here, and of course, I've been already talking about this larger time frame thing that we're currently looking at. Also, look at the the daily MACD having a bullish crossover right now. Pretty interesting to look at. But more importantly, where I was talking about is that monthly support level, right? I have been expecting Bitcoin is going to be bouncing from that monthly support level for quite a while. And let me go back to the daily time frame right now, and let me set up, of course, a text. And of course, I have been tweeting about this. I have been telling this to you guys on my Telegram. I was going long from this monthly level of support, so I'm still in that long position. And of course, I was targeting $35,000 with, of course, a potential stop loss for 2.5% right here. So this was my training setup. Of course, if you want to search it back, go towards my Telegram group. And of course, go to my Telegram group, go to my Twitter. You can find it everywhere. So I'm still in this position right now. And if Bitcoin does decide to be breaking bullish over here, I will be definitely extend this trade as well. I will keep it open. I will be moving my stop loss up here. But look at this. From of that entry, we are right now up approximately, 0.07 BTC here. So that's an approximately, how much percentage? It's like $2,000 up, 20% up right now. So it's pretty nice. It will be a pretty big trade here. I'm trading this right now on Prime XBT. So yeah, if you're interested, make sure to check out the link in the description. Because guys, right now, we've got some insane bonuses. Prime XBT offering $7,000 in bonus. And of course, guys, this is all training bonus. So if you deposit, you get free trading money. If you make profits with these trades, you are allowed to withdraw the money. And of course, if you lose the money from your bonus goes away. So it's not your money. So it's definitely a win-win. So yeah, that's why I'm also trading right now with my my bonus extra. So deposit some money, use my bonus, so I can of course make some extra profits. And right now, yeah, it's doing absolutely pretty well here on Prime XBT right now. Hopefully we can trade this all the way up towards that higher region, because that will be meaning it is going to be a pretty profitable trade, right? Because if we're going to fill up our 35k target, we're going to look for a profit around this 0.6 Bitcoin, 0.53 Bitcoin, right? So hopefully we can take the trade all the way towards the upside. But of course, I will be really wait for that confirmation. I will be also open another trade here on Bybit. As soon as we do break above this downward slope resistance line, I will be opening a trade on, of course, the retest only. So if we're going to get a retest, I will be, of course, open a trade on Bybit. And of course, Bybit is also offering a pretty cool deposit bonus right now. So yeah, the opportunities are pretty high, but definitely if I'm going to take this trade, I will be only doing it on a retest. And I want to be seeing a volume breakout, guys. That's going to be very crucial. So if we're going to be breaking out on this 4-hourly candle, I really want to be seeing the volume getting enabled, right? I want to see the volume flowing in towards the market. I want to be seeing, of course, a clear breakout, a clear big candle with not a very, very big wick on the top side. And I want to see the volume also spike, of course, over the weekend, right? If we see that, I want to be waiting for that retest. And on the retest, I will be accumulating my trade here. I will be entering my trade. And a retest, if we're going to be breaking out on next candle, is going to be somewhere around the 30.3k. But of course, if you're just following me on Twitter and of course in my Telegram group, you will be, of course, get notified about what the strategy is going to be for Bitcoin if we do decide to be breaking bullish right here. So yeah, the volume and volatility is definitely going to get enabled. So it's going to be pretty interesting. I see the retest. Yeah, the retest is definitely very important, guys. I'm not going to enter a trade without a retest. And also, if the volume is not high enough, especially because it's weekend, right? It's a little bit more risky if we do break on the weekends. I want to be seeing really the volume coming in the market. And yeah, Bitcoin has done it several times before. And also, guys, if we're looking at exactly 7 days ago, right? Exactly 7 days ago, we were also pumping in towards that weekly close, right? Here, 7 days ago, we were pumping in towards the weekly close. Here is where we closed the weekly candle. And then, of course, afterwards, we came down again. So it's going to be probably potentially the same once again for Bitcoin. Are we going to be pumping in towards that weekly close? That is going to be extremely exciting. Let me see. RSI trend break isn't a good indication for what to come. Let me see what the RSI trend break is right now, what you're talking about. 4 hour, of course, we were looking at the potential downtrend on the RSI right here. You can clearly see RSI on the 4-hourly time frame potentially breaking this downtrend. Also was creating some kind of a consolidation phase as well, right? So this is once again another indication. Volatility was going to turn up again, and we can see right now the volatility is indeed turning up. Also on the daily time frame, we were looking at that RSI downtrend, and of course, guys, after rain there always comes sunshine. And look at this, the RSI on the daily time frame, pretty interesting downtrend we're looking at, right? So you can clearly see we are forming that downtrend on the daily RSI. And let me make this a little bit more thicker so it's easier to watch here. You can see clearly downward slope resistance line getting formed on the RSI. We're right now potentially breaking bullish, but of course this is not confirmed yet before we're breaking out. So if we do decide to be breaking out and close this daily candle officially outside of it, yeah, we're going to look for, of course, that continuation. Let me see. Bitcoin is going to pump or what? Yeah, let's see what's going to happen. It really depends on if we're going to be seeing that breakout on the 4-hourly time frame. Let me see. Also talking about the fear, still pretty high, pretty high on the index right now. The fear and greed index, it's trading on 14 right now, so that's pretty high. Pretty low, I should say, but pretty high in terms of the fear. The lowest reading we've got, like, since the lowest reading at all is, like, let me see what's the lowest reading, the record lowest reading. It was around 96 here, and it was in August 2019, basically the bear market low of 2019. After that, we had another lower reading, and it was around 8, and it was on March 2020. And of course, we also read 8 just a while ago here on the fear and greed index, guys. You can see we're literally topping out readings. We've only seen 2 times before. We topped a reading on the fear and greed index that we only seen 2 times before. Let me quickly show you when this was, because guys, this is pretty interesting if we are going to be talking about this. We've topped it 2 times. The fear and greed index only touched 2 times below the 8, and of course 1 time we touched it on this weekly candle. Here we touched the 8. Here we touched the 8 as well, and on August 2019, is that over here? Let me see. 2019 August. It was here. Was it here? Let me see. And the other time around was August 2019. We had a pretty low reading over there, but it came up again very quickly again. So August 2019, where was it? Was it here? Was it so fair? Apparently there was very high fear over there. So yeah, there were a few readings so low. And of course, the last time that we read the same index on the fear and greed index was also in this region over here. So pretty interesting to take in consideration, right? Once fear is high, many people and investors don't really like to be investing in Bitcoin. But this is actually the time to be a little bit more excited about it. This is the time to be a little bit more excited about Bitcoin because, yeah, it could be potentially fall a little bit lower. But historically speaking, this is, of course, the opportunity that right now occurs. And you can see it on this chart that basically tells you exactly how the fear and greed index and the Bitcoin chart, the price action, what the correlation between them are basically. And you can see always once there is extreme fear in this market, it tends to be, of course, a good buying opportunity. Not necessarily the bottom, but it tends to be a good buying opportunity for the longer term. So, yeah. How many do I need to deposit for the buy bonus? For the buy, let me see. If you go to their website, if you go to this deposit bonus page, let me see this. If you click on the link, you should go to the site, and I think there's a panel over there that shows you exactly what the rules and agreements of the deposit bonus is, and it's I think for every single link. So I will be checking it up right now here for you guys out there because I will be pressing on my own link over here so I can help you out. But I think for every single one of them, it's the same. Oh, and I see my it's not updated yet, it's my description. So let me sort this out real quickly. Let me update my description because I see it's not updated right now. But yeah, pretty interesting what we are having right now in terms of deposit bonus. It's pretty cool, but let me quickly sort it out for you guys out there. Because yeah, I'm currently think this is the time to be benefiting from these lower things. But let me quickly check up on Bybit how it exactly works over there. If I go to that site, otherwise I have to give you another site. Oh, this is not the site where you can see it. I think if you search up Bybit, that's because I'm logged in. That's maybe why. Reward Hub. If you go to Reward Hub, you can see what you can basically claim here and what you're required to do, what you can claim. So yeah, if you go to Reward Hub on Bybit, it's basically on the top left side of the platform. You can see over here on the top left side of the platform, you can see a reward hub over here. And if you go to reward hub, you can basically see what you can do, what you need to do to claim your deposit bonuses. You have all kinds of cool things here. You can get $50 for this. You can get 100 for that. And there are also all other kinds of deposit bonuses. Like if you're a 3-day active trader, you get 5 USDT. If you are new to trading at all, you get free $10 always. If you're the first time your first spot order is executed, you get also $10. So you get all kinds of cool deposit bonuses on Bybit as well, with like for very small things here. Like if you buy, I don't know exactly what the agreements are, but you have to check it out here. Definitely very cool to sort out, but I will keep you guys up to date about that one. But let's talk a little bit more about the price action rather than deposit bonuses, right? Let me see. I can't find it. Oh, I just showed you. If Bitcoin goes to 33K, it might gain some momentum. And that is, of course, the real thing we're waiting for. You know, the most important level to break for Bitcoin right now, and I've said it several times before, I've been talking about this range several times before, guys. It is going to be that 32.2K towards 31.7K. If we can break above that region, it will get myself very excited again. And that's really the region I would love to be breaking above. So, yeah, guys, I'm still waiting to see if we can do to break above that region, because that is going to be definitely the level to be breaking right now. Also, I see we just reached the 80.8K subscribers, guys. Thank you so much for that. If you haven't already subscribed to the channel, make sure to do so and slap up the like button. But let me go a little bit further in towards the content, right? Because I've still got some interesting things to discuss right now. Also looking at the VPVR, we are currently, if we're looking at the weekly time frame for Bitcoin, trading a little bit below the VPVR here. So if we can still close the weekly candle, just like we did last time around, above the 30.9K region, we're still holding technically on the VPVR. And also, guys, we can look on the weekly time frame towards this downward sloping support line, and you can clearly see this downward sloping support line. We're right now trading below it. But if Bitcoin decides to be pushing up a little bit here in towards this weekly candle, we could be, of course, potentially still hold on towards this downward sloping support line on this weekly time frame close. Also, do remember, we're forming an upward sloping resistance line. So this could be, of course, forming a descending broadening wedge here on the larger time frames for Bitcoin. So a descending broadening wedge, if you don't know already, is basically a pattern that tends to be created from a move towards the upside. And of course, we've got the positive move in lead in phase for Bitcoin, this generally speaking, how when descending broadening wedge is descending broadening wedge is getting created. And also, if we can hold on towards that lower side, it has historically been a bullish bias continuation pattern for markets. So maybe Bitcoin is going to go into a multi-year, multi-week consolidation phase. And of course, if we come back towards that upside eventually, we could be, of course, look for a massive breakout, for massive targets for Bitcoin. So that could be, of course, pretty excited, but we have to hold on towards that lower side for Bitcoin. So if we can pump in towards this weekly candle close, it is going to be pretty positive for the Bitcoin chart. Also, remember, volume is still pretty decent right now here on this weekly candle as well. Also a thing I definitely love to see. Also, looking for Bitcoin, I've been talking about this several times before, guys, that monthly time frame right now. We've also got that positive monthly time frame here. We are currently getting a pretty interesting lead-in phase, right? We've got this bullish lead-in phase. We currently are forming that consolidation phase towards the downside, and that is going to result in a bullish continuation towards the upside. This is, of course, a falling wedge pattern. I've talked about it on my Twitter page, guys. Let me see where it is this tweet. I've been talking about it on my Twitter page, and you can clearly see over here, we are currently forming, once again, another multi-month consolidation phase, and this is definitely a pattern to be looking at right now here. It's a typical bullish bias continuation pattern. It's a typical, continuation pattern Bitcoin likes to create. It's a falling wedge pattern, and of course, it always gets created from a move towards the upside. So I just don't get it why we should be extremely bearish right now. Well, if we're going to zoom out, Bitcoin is actually looking very strong, and also take in consideration many of these big investors, the institutions, just look at MicroStrategy, just look at Tesla, they are underwater if Bitcoin trades below 30K. And that's why Bitcoin tends to be bouncing so quickly towards the upside if it does tend to be trading below the 30K, right? So Bitcoin below 30K is always a good buy in my opinion, because you're basically buying below a price that average large institutions are also buying at, and potentially right now big institutions are loading up. Of course, we do know that big whales, individuals probably are loading up, but at the same time, if let's say companies are going to load up here, they are probably not telling you because they want to be loading up as much Bitcoin as they possibly can here. And we just have the proof that whales are accumulating, and of course that we are seeing a massive spike in terms of these 10K plus holders in whales, and that is of course extremely exciting to see here. More and more whales stepping in towards the market while price action is dropping. Well, at the same time, fear is of course at an extreme low reading, you know. Everything just makes sense what is currently playing out here. So just be aware for that, guys. Be aware. It's pretty interesting to see what we're having. We back to 30K, Let's freaking go. Indeed, let's freaking go, guys. So it's pretty interesting. I'm still going to be keeping my eyes wide open on this potential bounce from the monthly level, right? So we are looking at the monthly level of support, and I've been talking about it several times before. Just look at last time around how we have been bouncing always from this level, right? This is monthly support, bounce, bounce, bounce. Another bounce over there, over here as well. Bounce, bounce, not even a touch here. But look at this, every single time we touch that monthly level, it has just been proving itself to be an extreme big level for these whales to be buying at. It has been just showing us so strongly that this is a buy range, right? So once again, we are right now still bouncing from that monthly level. We don't trade very often that long around this level, right? You can see once we're trading, and this is the 1 hour time frame, once we trade on it, we tend to be trading above it very quickly once again, right? You can see also over here, perfect touch point from the monthly level of support. We move down, and that perfect touch, just perfect, inch perfect touch, and we move up again. Guys, this is the monthly level of support for Bitcoin. This is a level that Bitcoin likes to be bouncing from. This is a level Bitcoin tends to be creating bigger moves from, and that is why I'm also looking. And that is also why I accumulated here on Prime XBT that position over here that I will be trading from that 28.9K towards that 35K region, because this is already alone a 21% move here. And of course, guys, this is a very easy move Bitcoin can be making, but it is a 21% move. And that is, of course, the most loveliest part about it. Bitcoin Volatility Index is also showing us right now. The volatility is probably going to turn up again here. Of course, we have been consolidating pretty boring towards the sideways action. And you can see that the 30-day estimate is, of course, running up very quickly and showing us that the volatility index is probably going to come again. Of course, it can get much worse. And I mean, it's not worse, but Bitcoin can, of course, consolidate way longer and then starts to be creating a move, for sure possible. But it is indicating right now that Bitcoin is indeed going to create a massive move, probably within the coming week, probably within the coming few days ahead of ourselves. And of course, looking at the consolidation phase Bitcoin is currently in, we are expecting that it's going to be happening within 48 hours. Indeed. Let's F go is indeed the Luna Foundation guard. Oh, sorry, I deleted the message by accident. Let me see what the chat is saying. Opinion on the DXY. Of course, DXY is pretty interesting right now, guys. I actually think that the DXY is one of the most interesting charts because we all know the Federal Reserve, right? We all know the Federal Reserve, and why the dollar index has been moving up is due to the Federal Reserve. Well, also a few things we know about the Federal Reserve is that they like to be saying a lot of things, but they don't really stick to their words. They are not really having a high trustworthy profile, right? They usually tend to say, oh, we're planning to hike the interest rates for so long, or inflation is transitory, right? All these things that they're saying, and it's always the opposite way around here. And of course, with the elections coming up here, there could be a potential scenario playing out that the Federal Reserve is going to be stop hiking the interest rates so hard. And also, taking in consideration right now, the consumer demand is coming down massively, what's basically going to shrink and potentially create deflation. It's probably not going to happen, but because demand is coming down, the inflation will be probably also cool off here. It could have a positive effect here, and the dollar index could be start to weaken due to that. However, the euro is very weak also, so the dollar index could be still move up against the euro massively. But to take in consideration what we're currently seeing on the weekly time frame on the dollar index, guys, we have been historically speaking on this level, right? So let me place an area, and this is the dollar index, right? What we're currently looking at. If I overplace it with the Bitcoin chart here, and if I'm going to be putting Bitcoin in, first of all, logarithmic time scale, and if I'm going to put Bitcoin as well in a little bit more easier readable territorium, so place it like this, we can clearly see that Bitcoin is just always tends to be moving up if the dollar index tends to be spiking, right? So dollar index spike happened over here, and the Bitcoin bull run started over there as well. Dollar index formed a low, Bitcoin formed a peak, dollar index formed a high, Bitcoin formed a low, and of course rallied up from there on. Dollar index forms a high, Bitcoin forms a low. And right now, you can see clearly that we are falling off a cliff with the dollar index. Will this be the reversal point where Bitcoin is going to go exponential again here, and the dollar index is going to creep down massively again? Because, guys, every single time a chart comes up very quickly towards the upside, it can also fall very, very quickly. That's the thing that we do know about all these charts, right? Once it tends to go parabolic, it can also fall very quickly again. And look at this chart over here, is that like it went in a parabolic stage towards the upside, and right now, if you look at the 3-day time frame as well, you can see formed a wick on the top side coming down right now here. It looks like the exponential structure is cooling off right now here. And the last time around, the dollar index formed an exponential structure towards the upside. It fell down even harder, you know, you can clearly see that. So that's pretty interesting to look at. And of course, historically speaking, it is always a good buying opportunity for Bitcoin if the dollar index trades higher. Because, yeah, maybe on the immediate short term, cash is king. But, of course, always on the longer term, we do know that cash is not king. Cash always lose against equities because cash is getting printed with time. And, of course, the Federal Reserve, all the news, the media is always trying to say, oh, cash is so good, you should hold it. It's way better than Bitcoin. They always say that. Why? It's because they want to keep you in the system. So, no, I'm not really a big fan of cash. Of course, maybe right now, yeah, you have some certainty with cash. I totally agree. But, of course, over the long term, over the long run, you will be never be certain with cash on your hand right now. So, yeah, make sure to do whatever you want to do here. I am just dollar cost averaging casually every single day more and more into Bitcoin because that is definitely my strategy. Let me see. Do you think the Nasdaq has bottomed out here? Elon Musk said we are in a recession that could last 18 months. I mean, Elon Musk is definitely an absolute legend. But we are definitely in a bear market for the Nasdaq. But let me quickly look up towards the Nasdaq. But I did saw some very interesting charts from. Let me see. Let me go towards this chart, right? I think it was BTC Fuel that tweeted about this. Let me go towards his page, and he tweeted something very interesting about the. First of all, small cap stocks, but I want to be looking at the Nasdaq. This is the Nasdaq and the Dow Jones, right? This is pretty interesting to look at. So you can see on the left side, the Nasdaq has been in a very big uptrend here since basically 2010 here. And you can clearly see we have seen some fake outs, and the only fake outs that did happen at that point was due to the pandemic crash here. And right now we're just back at pre-pandemic levels. We, of course, had too big of a growth towards the big stimulus that came in the market, and we're just right now cooling off of that, and we're just back at our normal rate of growth. So growing from of this region just would make a lot of sense for me in terms of the stocks. And the Federal Reserve, if they're really going to be going even more hawkish in it right now, the stocks will be plummeting massively, and stocks are very important for the US. So I just don't really see it happening that we're going to fall so massively towards the downside right now. If it does happen, of course, it will be absolutely worse for stocks. And of course, we could be breaking a 12-year trend already, right? Also for the Dow Jones, we're currently also still holding on towards the support line. Only once we've traded below it, and that was of course on the pandemic crash. So will we be holding on towards it from this pre-pandemic trend line towards the upside? And just like for Bitcoin, guys, I've just talked about it. Bitcoin is also trading in this range right now here. And here's my chart, right? Bitcoin is trading in this same level. Like you're currently looking on this chart towards the Dow Jones and Nasdaq, and you can see every single time with the pandemic, we basically came below it. The time that we had the pandemic, we came below it. Also for Bitcoin, if we're just don't count that pandemic crash with us, and we're looking at this upward-sloping support line, we can see we already hit the bottom. The bottom is already hit, and right now every single weekly candle that goes on from here on is basically another weekly candle where we're going to probably form a higher low from. So pretty interesting. DXY will fall very hard. I mean, I totally believe that as well, because yeah, everything that goes exponential towards the upside can fall also exponentially again. Also looking at the Nasdaq right now here, you can clearly see we're just coming back towards this previous very strong demand slash supply zone, right? So previous supply zone over here is probably going to flip into demand. So I hope just that we can see a positive week for stocks next week here. I personally think it's definitely possible. But if you're going to compare the stocks right now to Bitcoin, you can see this is the weekly time frame for the Nasdaq, and this is the weekly time for Bitcoin. Bitcoin is holding up pretty well here if you compare it, right? Bitcoin is doing a pretty good job here. This is the pandemic crash for Bitcoin, and this is the pandemic crash for the Nasdaq. Nasdaq is way closer towards its previous pandemic high here, was basically 9,555, and for Bitcoin it was, of course, 10,000. So do I really think Bitcoin is going to fall down to 10K? No, I'm not really think that's going to be happening. And once again, proves the point that Bitcoin is just holding up better against all these other assets. Yeah, right? You can see it in these uncertain periods. Many people and investors say, oh, Bitcoin is not holding up well. It's because they literally FOMO'd in at the top. They were buying Bitcoin at the top, and that happens on every single cycle. That happens in 2017, 18 as well. People bought the top and they sold the bottom because they thought, oh, this is terrible. But people that bought from the cycle before, they are still in massive profits, even though there's a massive correction from high to low, right? And that's the same for me, because I bought in this region over here. I'm still in profits right now, and that is why I'm still buying more and more, because I have that vision for the long term, you know? So yeah, if you did bought the top, I feel absolutely terrible for you, but eventually eventually Bitcoin will set a new all-time high and you will become back in a profit. The only problem is here, you only make a loss if you do sell, and many people just like to sell against the lowest point, because many people, I just read it, they are saying sell now until it's too late, you know, those things you're getting up, and that's absolutely terrible. Also look at the realized loss. I mean, you can clearly see there are in fact many people selling against the loss here. I mean, I just can't think it's possible. I just don't think it's possible, but apparently it is possible, because you can see it also on this chart. Bitcoin realized loss on the 7-day moving average. We're just having a very high spike against the losses that are currently getting made, right? Many investors are just in fact selling against the loss here, even though it's not like you shouldn't expect it, right? Why should you sell Bitcoin after it already corrected 50%, right? I just don't get it, but apparently there are many investors that are doing that. And you know what's funny? Also, the people that sold in the pandemic crash here, because they said all equities are going to zero, the world is over. Those people that all sold the pandemic crash literally bought back in the big hype cycle towards the upside. And all the people that sold in this movement here towards the downside in the May crash, they heard about Bitcoin, they sold it because they thought, oh, it's going back to 20K, blah, blah, blah. You know, everyone told me Bitcoin was going back to 20K on the lower side, and I was still buying that, and everyone was laughing at me. And you know who laughed the hardest eventually? It was me again. And the people that sell against the loss in a downtrend are always the people that are buying in the hype towards the uptrend. Well, that should be the exact other way around, right? If you want to make money, you should buy in downtrends, you should distribute in uptrends. And of course, I know it again, because I've said it several times before. I'm getting the shit over myself several times before. If I say I sell Bitcoin in an uptrend, people hate you for it, because people want to always hear what they want to hear. So that's just a fact. That's just a fact what currently is here. But look at Bitcoin. It's going 30.3K almost. So that's absolutely amazing. Whoa, long time no see, Rover. At play. That's absolutely amazing that you're back again. Bitcoin is still stuck around 30K. That's true. Bitcoin is still stuck around 30K. But like I pointed out in this video, in this live stream, I personally think it's not going to take much longer till we're going to choose a direction, because we can clearly see on the Bitcoin volatility index that the volatility is probably going to turn up again here. There's going to be high volatility for Bitcoin, and I'm just ready for it. I'm just ready for the volatility. It has been a boring few days here, but yeah, I'm getting ready for it. A pump in towards the monthly close will be also pretty nice. Like, indeed, I totally agree. If you give me a second. So, if we're looking at Bitcoin on a monthly time frame, you can see it's currently a pretty big red candle on the monthly time frame, right? We currently have a wick from low to where we are right now on 15%. From low to high, it's 18% on the lower side, right? So pretty big wick on the lower side. If Bitcoin like can flip it around, it closes monthly candle above 36k, it's going to be crazy. It's going to be a very bullish month and period ahead of ourselves. And just look. If I remove all the drawings, if Bitcoin can once again create a big wick on the lower side for the monthly candle, and currently we already have a particular big wick on the monthly candle, right? But if we can push up even further on, and if we can, let's say, close around 35k, our target we're aiming for, if we are going to be breaking bullish in the coming 48 hours ahead of ourselves, we could be in for a very, very bullish June, and that is going to be very exciting. That's going to be very exciting if we could have that. So, definitely stick around right now, guys. It's not the time to be leaving the space. Well, many investors are in fact doing that. I mean, whales do know that what Bitcoin is going to do, and of course I explained it already. Whales are not going to stop accumulating right now, guys. And in fact, they are not stopping accumulating. We've been talking about it several times before. Look at this. You have accumulation stages for whales, and you have distribution stages for whales, and always in these bull trends, in these hype stages, whales tends to be selling, of course, right? And over the course, especially just since the September low, October high, whales have been generally accumulating. Of course, whales have been also buying the top a little bit over here, but they have been not stopping with distributing their Bitcoin right now. They're accumulating massively. We have not seen such kind of a big trend across the whales getting started, right? Also in the pandemic movement towards the upside, in that big uncertainty period, right? Fear was extremely high back in March 2020. What were the whales doing? They were buying, because they just play against your emotions, and it is always the same. It has been always the same. Also back in 2019, at the extreme low in the market, first of all, whales dumped on you because they were trying to fool you out there. What happened afterwards? Of course, they accumulated along the way up here. They bought more Bitcoin, and of course, they distributed once again into strength. So it is probably going to be playing out exactly the same once again here, and people are always going to say in hindsight, oh, I wish I bought Bitcoin below 30k. That's always going to be the thing. And of course, yesterday I tweeted a very beautiful picture about it. I think it's a very picture that is very relevant, and probably, you know, guys, I'm going to really chill in like a few months or a few years or whatsoever with this picture. Like this photo explains it all here, guys. Bitcoin on 4k, nah. Bitcoin on 10k, nah. Bitcoin on 30k, still many investors know, and I know for sure, I can guarantee you, if Bitcoin hits 100k, people will become excited, because the new floor is 30k, guys. The new floor is not 4k or 3k, you know? The new floor price for Bitcoin is just 30k. Bitcoin doesn't like to go below that. And this is just the new standard. And if we're going to hit 100k, there are just going to be many investors going to be following to Bitcoin. How it sounds very ridiculous, but it is going to be happening, because the media is going to talk about it. And I mean, my friends are going to once again talk about it. Right now, my friends don't want me to talk about Bitcoin. No, they don't want to talk about it. They are not even looking at their portfolios anymore, because they sold it. They don't want to be seeing it anymore. They sold everything because they are afraid. They are afraid. And many people are just afraid in these stages. And I do get it. But this is not the time to be afraid, right? So yeah, Bitcoin will eventually melt faces, of course. Is 300k possible this year? No, I don't think that 300k is possible. I think like it's indeed only a 10x, but considering like what is currently going on in the world, 300k is a little bit of a ridiculous target in my opinion. Do I think Bitcoin can still hit 100k this year? Potentially, could be happening. I mean, Q3 and Q4 are going to definitely be very exciting months here, since like a lot of things are currently changing up here across the world. Of course, what's going to be happening with the Fed, what's going to happen with the inflation, many things can happen. So we should never point out Bitcoin, right? Bitcoin can do everything because it's Bitcoin. It can literally move up 10k in just a matter of one day. It could be moving up 20k in a matter of one day. The more, in fact, like 100k, is it likely to really happen this year? No, not really likely. Could it happen? Yes, for sure. So I'm not counting it out. But 300k is a little bit ridiculous for me. Personally, I would stop with these stupid predictions for the longer term, right? I would rather look at what could we be expecting on the imminent short term for, like, let's say the coming months ahead of ourselves. And if I'm already talking about that, like I've been already trying to tell you what I'm thinking about it, and of course I've already told you several times before what my strategy is going to be from this point, and it's just going to be, I'm longing that monthly support level, and I'm going to be looking at the 35k region, and of course after that I'm just going to reevaluate. I can't say Bitcoin is going to be breaking down for 35k. I can't say what Bitcoin is going to do afterwards, but in fact I will be just looking to see what the market development will be there. Like, is Bitcoin strong on that 36k region and we break above it? I mean, I will probably be even more excited for the end of this year, or for this year, right? But let's say Bitcoin is going to get rejected. Bitcoin is going to be moving up from here on, gets rejected, and move all the way down to 28k again. Will I then still say Bitcoin can hit 100k this year? No, probably not. It's not going to happen from off that point. But let's say Bitcoin does decide to be breaking above this region, and of course go for a retest and go do something like this, right? Could it then still hit 100k this year? Yeah, potentially true. Could be still happening because Bitcoin is going to be, from that point, very bullish. So it's very hard to say what Bitcoin is going to do right now here. In the end of the year. Is it going to be possible? Yes or no? Bitcoin tends to be bouncing very hard from these lower ranges. And guys, I've been pointing it out here several times before. We are creating just, in fact, of course, we're breaking the downward sloping resistance line here on the RSI here, like you can see, but also we are oversold. And also looking at that weekly time frame, guys, and look at the RSI. This is just, of course, like a life-changing opportunity. Bitcoin is trading on levels on the RSI, weekly RSI, not seen since the pandemic low of March 2020. And of course, more importantly, look at this. This has been, historically speaking, the level. Let me make this a little bit more thick. Let me make this a clear line for you guys out there. This has been the level where, oh wait, you can see it. This has been the level where the big money is made from Bitcoin on the weekly RSI, guys. I'm just trying to be pointing out that the risk is so low right now. And like, yes, Bitcoin can fall. Many people just don't get it. Yes, we are never going to have like that glass ball, you know. It's very hard in these very uncertain periods in the market with the Federal Reserve. Also don't know what they want to be doing right now. It's very hard to say where the exact bottom is. But like fuck market cycles. Just look at the risk levels. And more importantly, look at Plan C, what he tweeted about this, all right? The real Plan C said it perfectly, exactly what I just told you. Just, was it this? Let me see where it is. It was exactly this tweet. I think, yeah, this tweet. He said, forget about crypto market cycles. It's all about the risk. Bitcoin is currently scoring a 1.6 out of the 10 in terms of its risk levels. Guys, don't look at the freaking price or whatsoever. If you're here for the long run, don't look at the price, or if you're catching here a move. If you're trying to catch a big swing trade, don't look necessarily where we're standing right. Just look at the risk levels, guys. If you want to be catching a legendary swing trade or whatsoever, you should be looking at the risk levels, not at these market cycles anymore, because there are institutions involved. Everything, like the market changed up here, and also in trading, the market changed so much here since the bear market to right now. Market is trading completely differently right now. But this is so important to see, right? So the risk is just so low for Bitcoin. And of course, he's saying we are in dollar cost average buying stages between the 0 and 2. I think that is true. And I mean, this is just a region to go for. I mean, if you're not buying Bitcoin right now, I don't know when you're going to be buying Bitcoin, you know? This will dump into, yeah, I mean, some people are still saying we're going to go down to 8k. Some people are still saying we're going down to 10k. And of course, if you're thinking that, you're definitely on the wrong channel, guys. If you are liking Bitcoin, if you think Bitcoin is at a good stage for accumulation, make sure to smash up the like button, guys. How much likes can we get on this video will be absolutely amazing. But more importantly, guys, if you haven't already subscribed to the channel, it will be highly appreciated if you're going to do so. We're dropping out daily content on this channel. And of course, guys, it has been a little bit quiet out here. It has indeed been a little bit more quiet. Many investors are stepping away from the market right now, and I can clearly see it as a content creator. I mean, I don't mind, because I know the majority of the people that are right now selling will be turned back once Bitcoin turns up to 40, 50, or 60, or even 80k once we surpass our previous all-time high, of course. So please be on the right side and be, of course, a subscriber to the channel. Will be absolutely amazing. Here on the channel, we're trying to tell you exactly what all these interesting charts are, basically telling us, and we're explaining it, and of course, filtering it out for you guys out there. So yeah, market risk is right now pretty low here, and I think this is a very good tweet from Plan C. Yeah. You can just clearly see, I totally agree. I don't really think that market cycles are a thing nowadays. Why? Is because market cycles were from 2012, 2016, 2018, you know, all these cycles over there. We are right now just having different stages in the market. Why? Is because we're having institutional investors, and that is just changing up everything. We have Bitcoin ETFs, so that's the whole point. So can you look at the longs? Yes, I will be looking at the longs. Give me a moment, Golden Pete. One moment. But also, more importantly, to look at this, I tweeted about it also, and also good reason to follow me on Twitter, right? I was talking about the big supply squeeze of 2022, right? The year that we're currently trading in. The big supply squeeze. So we're still seeing a massive withdrawal from exchanges for Bitcoin. And also the supply lasting active 1+ year ago is going parabolic. So Bitcoin is creating another supply squeeze, right? So if I'm going to look at my favorite indexes here on Glassnode, and guys, I absolutely love Glassnode. If I'm just going to look at the exchange balance, and if I'm going to zoom out massively, we can see the previously around. And let me disable the moving average. If we disable the moving average, you can clearly see there's a run on Bitcoin. It's just a fact. Bitcoin is getting withdrawals more and more from exchanges. Many people are withdrawing their Bitcoins. Of course, in 2 years from now, we're going to have another halving. What is going to be the massive cascading effect? What is going to send Bitcoin towards $1 million? Is going to be the supply shock. There is going to be a day that there's not going to be any Bitcoins available anymore. And you can see it already. There is just a massive increasement on Bitcoin addresses with non-zero balance. You can see the network is growing, and this also indicates the interest in Bitcoin is growing, right? At the same time, we can see the addresses holding more than 1 Bitcoin is currently trading at an all-time high of 844,000. 844,000 addresses holding 1 Bitcoin. Guys, you can still accumulate 1 Bitcoin if you just work hard enough for it. That's definitely possible. Don't say it's not possible because you do this or that. Just try to dollar cost average, work hard. I think everyone can earn $30,000 in just a matter of 2 or 3 years. I think that's definitely possible. So try to stack as much Satoshi as you possibly can. Holding 1 Bitcoin is definitely going to be life-changing. And of course, yeah, looking at those whales, they're accumulating. So supply squeeze is getting started. And looking at the supply loss active for 1+ year ago, we can see it's going parabolic as well. They are not looking to sell right now. 65.4% sorry, this is not the all-time. 65.4%, yes, new all-time high for Bitcoin holders not touching their Bitcoin 1+ year ago. And if we're looking back historically, when are all the big cycles started for Bitcoin? They always started once the 1+ year holders are spiking. Because when is Bitcoin going to be bottoming out? Most people are not willing to sell Bitcoin for 30k, and I am not willing to sell my Bitcoin for 30k. Are there other people that are willing to do so? Less and less people are doing that, because you can see it over here. People are holding their Bitcoin. More and more Bitcoin maxis are getting created. More and more Bitcoin long-term holders are getting created. And that is why Bitcoin tends to increase with time. And that is why we zoom out right here, you know? Also, my top picks for altcoins are currently performing very well. We'll be talking about them in a moment from now on. But let me go over the Bitcoin longs here. Sorry, let me get the chart here. Bitcoin longs, shorts massively down here. So first of all, talking about the shorts. Shorts are massively down. And this is, of course, also a pretty interesting thing to see, right? Once shorts tends to be coming down, and once again, let me set Bitcoin into a logarithmic scale. Let me place this like this. Let me make it orange. Let me place this. So usually once Bitcoin tends to come down, usually once the shorts tends to come down, it tends to be a bottom for Bitcoin, right? So you can see over here, short spiked, but they came down, and that's why Bitcoin rally followed. So here, short spiked, Bitcoin came down. That's why we had a minor rally towards the upside. Also over here, look back. Let me remove this first. Look back at the Bitcoin shorts. They tend to show us a very clear story. Once the shorts tend to be coming down here, guys, it tends to be, of course, a Bitcoin rally that's going to be following. And also the other way around, once the Bitcoin longs tends to be spiking, it tends to be a very good buying opportunity as well, because every single time these bitfinex whales are longing the market, it is basically always been a Bitcoin market bottom. Not going to say what's going to happen, but it's pretty obvious what we're currently seeing. Bitfinex walls are accumulating massive longs, and they're not stopping. They're not looking to stop anytime soon here. And Bitcoin, of course, is still on the edge of its seat where it is going to be breaking towards, right? So which direction is going to be? And probably if we're going to be pumping up again, Bitfinex walls will be distributed once again, just like this. Bitcoin is going to consolidate, and then we're just going to form a new cycle once again. So Bitfinex walls are definitely knowing more than we know, potentially. Of course, if I out of nowhere see that today the Bitfinex walls come down so massively, Bitcoin still trades sideways, it's more likely to fall down, right? But at this moment of time, it is more likely to come up. So it can change around here. Bitfinex walls can out of nowhere close their long positions for sure. But right now, it is actually looking pretty good for Bitcoin. So, of course, on that daily time frame. I'm not talking about the 1 hour time frame. It's looking good for that daily / weekly time frame for Bitcoin right now. So, they're still accumulating more and more and more. To me, Bitcoin is cheap right now. Indeed, for me as well. Such a huge... I'm a car salesman, apparently. I mean, that was definitely my job. No, it was never going to be my job. What is the best portfolio balance? 50% Bitcoin, 25% Ethereum, 25% good alts. It really depends on like what your portfolio size is. I'm not going to ask it from you, but like it depends on what your goals with your portfolio. If you're having like, you want to be building for, let's say you're 40 years old right now, you want to be building a safe haven for your future, I should go only Bitcoin, actually. Only Bitcoin. Just hold it for your retirement, everything, you know, only Bitcoin. Let's say you're very young, you want to be taking a little bit more risk here because you don't have a family or whatsoever, just like me, you want to take a little bit more risk because why not? You can do it. I'm not saying no financial advice or whatsoever, you know, but what I'm currently doing here, I'm approximately 55% Bitcoin, approximately 20% Ethereum, so that makes up 55 to 75%, other 25% good altcoins. But be very picky with your altcoins, because there are many shitty altcoins out there, and I should definitely not advise you to go with an altcoin below a market capitalization of, let's say, 1 billion maybe, or a little bit above, a little bit below could still work. But yeah, altcoins I'm looking for, and also the altcoins I've been calling on the recent days are doing pretty well, right? You've got Binance coin here up 4.2% today. That is one of my top picks here. You've got Solana, where I should stay away from. I'm not really a huge fan of it, Solana. I personally think it's going to be failing as well. If we're really going to have that heavy bear market, I personally think that Solana is going to take one of the most biggest hits here, together with Cardano. Could be taking a very big hit. So I'm not a hater of the projects. I still hold a little bit of it, but I'm just not a huge fan of the Solana network. And many people say Solana is the Ethereum killer, but I just don't think that is going to be happening. They have so much issues. They've got so much hacks on the network. It's not going to work. Avalanche also should be very careful with that one. Not my favorite altcoin right there in this top list. And of course, guys, you can see this was already the top 15, right? And I just pick only one good altcoin of it, and that's of course Ethereum is included with it. Ethereum and BNB. That is my top of my top 16, my top altcoins. Then you've got Polygon. I think it's still going to perform very good layer 2 because, yeah, Ethereum is just pretty slow with their solutions of Ethereum 2.0. Then at the same time, we can see FTX token. Why do I think it's good? Is because it has got this big cash flow behind it, right? It's probably going to constantly grow and grow, and you can see also it performed very good on the 7-day compared to all these other altcoins. So FTX also a good one. I personally think that FTX US is going to be one of the biggest cryptocurrency places out there. So FTX is a good investment for me if you're going to talk about the coming 2 to 4 years, right? I'm just talking about the coming 2 to 4 years. Maybe I could just diversify at that point. Maybe there are other very good projects to look at that point. But right now, I think that FTX is a very good pick in your portfolio. Together with Chainlink, also just think the Oracle network, we need it for other cryptocurrencies. And if you want to be getting diversified, Chainlink is a very good pick. Also looking at the 90-day, it's down 50%, and it's just such good of a project. It just allows you to pick it up cheap here. Together with VeChain, only down 35% in the last 90 days, holding up pretty well, especially with the supply chain problems right now in the world due to high inflation. VeChain could be, of course, a very good solution for it. So VeChain could be, of course, also help around here, and together with Elrond. Those are basically my top picks right now in the top 35. And of course, those are not a lot of altcoins, but they are definitely top 50 altcoins, and they're probably going to also guarantee you a good return in the coming 2 years. And those are probably not going to be the altcoins that are going to go minus 99%, right? So you really want to be very careful with your altcoins. Make sure to do your own research, no financial advice. But yeah, definitely very interesting periods in the market. Ethereum is backed by JP Morgan. It ain't going anywhere. I mean, I'm I've never said Ethereum is bad. I'm a huge lover of Ethereum, especially in approximately the 8th of June. So in approximately a few days from now on, guys, we're going to get the Ethereum merge testnet update, because they're going to test the merge on the testnet. And if it goes all as planned, the Ethereum merge will take place in August 2022. And guys, that's almost already. And you know what happened last time around in August 2021 with the London hard fork update for Ethereum? Ethereum went absolutely sky high. And of course, be early with the hype. Don't be late with the hype for Ethereum. I personally think Ethereum is just going to be performing very well. So I'm extremely excited about it. And guys, what if, just what if, right? Bitcoin moves up from here on. It goes very exponential towards the upside, and this is called the super cycle. And Bitcoin moves up through all-time highs, crushes through 70k, and we are in the super cycle. What if? Guys, that will be absolutely crazy. Of course, I can say what if several times before, but look at just the low risk stages you're buying at right now. I just think that many investors that are just not buying it right now are just massively wrong. I just think they are massively wrong. And of course, guys, I've been wrong as well. Let me point this out. I've been wrong as well, because I've been accumulating many Bitcoin on this region over here, right? And of course, in the end of the day, it has been a mistake here. I've been accumulating many Bitcoin on this region over here. But you know what happened? Over here, I think Bitcoin could have still moved up from here at this point, right? It was forming a big move towards the upside, but then something happened. A thing that, I mean, you could have foreseen, but I have not foreseen it. It was the Luna crash here, the Bitcoin Luna crash, and that was basically due to Terra Luna. Massive FUD in the market, massive fear entered the market, and basically that cascaded a massive effect towards the downside, drag Bitcoin down. So if Bitcoin is going to recover, it will make pretty much sense here to recover back towards this region pre-Luna FUD, right? So yeah, I've been wrong. I totally agree. I've been wrong on this region, but I mean, if Luna was probably not around there, I would have not been wrong here, because this has been the Luna correction in the market. So yeah, Bitcoin was holding up very strong, but then Luna dropped 80,000 Bitcoins on the market, dropped the market massively down here. And if we're just going to do this, the same like the pandemic crash, right? In the pandemic crash, we recovered, went sideways for a very long time, and then we started the massive cycle, right? Will we do the same? Will we recover from the Luna's carnage in the market, just go sideways, and then go for the choppy move towards the upside, right? Could be happening right now. So yeah. Yeah, truly true. Yeah, it's been definitely the Luna correction, because Luna dropped 80,000 Bitcoin on the market. And you know what's pretty funny? I tweeted about it, and some professional analysts told me, oh, but that Luna didn't matter at all. I mean, 80,000 Bitcoin, guys. That is a massive carnage that they created on the market. Let me quickly tell you how much money they dropped on the market, right? They dropped an approximately $3.2 billion on the market. Market still, that's a massively liquidity grab that they did. So that has been definitely caused at least a 15% correction towards the downside. Okay. ICP, I should stay away from ICP. ICP has been so far a big flop, so no, I don't like it. There's no volume in Bitcoin fake out, definitely. There's very decent volume actually entering the market right now. There's pretty decent volume for over the weekend. It's pretty high volume. You can see we're spiking levels all the way back towards this high over here. So it's pretty decent volume if you would ask me. Look at the 1 hour. We're definitely spiking in volume over here. So we're doing actually pretty good. I mean, it's always funny because there are going to be always many people that are going to always want to hear what they want to hear, right? So it's going to be funny. If Tether depeg, it will be bloodbath. Yeah, probably it will. But we do know that Tether came out publicly with their reserves, so I am not very worried about Tether. And the things they're doing. Let me quickly go into the dashboard. I made a very interesting dashboard for you. Oh, I lost it. It's gone. I reset my PC, so maybe it's due to that. But that's pretty unfortunate. Oh wait, Workbench is here. So excuse me, my stablecoin supply I made here on Workbench. So I am, of course, lately have been working a little bit around here to figure out a little bit how Glassnode works a little bit better. But look at this, guys. Pretty interesting what we're currently seeing. So let me set everything on the correct line once again. Let me place this here. Let me see if it's working right now. Sometimes it doesn't really work. So yeah, we can see that right now, basically a massive difference is getting created between USC and USDT. And yeah, we're just seeing a huge yeah, it's really diverging from each other right now. So I think everything is all right now. Yeah, it works. So we can see a really big spike difference. So a lot of outflow from USD Tether. And let me also enable the average total supply for the stablecoin. So the red line on this chart is basically the total supply of stablecoins in circulation. And you can see really the big market run up towards the upside was getting driven by the stablecoin supply. And right now we've been seeing, let me see the relatively correction from the high, right? We've been relatively speaking from 140 billion, we went down towards 133 billion, while Bitcoin went down from 64k all the way down to 29k. Pretty good, right? So many of this money is still in the market. There's a lot of stablecoins still in the market. Only what we can see right now, and that is the interesting part about this, if we're going to use the T-point D, if we're going to use the Tether dominance, we can see a massive spike getting formed. Why? Is because apparently everyone thinks USD Tether is the better one to hold right now. And generally speaking, if I overlay the Bitcoin chart over this, guys, let me do this. If I overlay the Bitcoin chart, you can see every single time, and this is just the loveliest part I love about this analysis, guys. Every single time, Bitcoin the USD Tether reserves tends to be spiking in its dominance. It has been always a market bottom. And once again, you can see it over here. This was a good time to be buying Bitcoin. Good time to be buying Bitcoin. Good time to be averagely buying Bitcoin. Of course, you can see the spike getting formed over here. And this, once again, good time to averagely buy Bitcoin once again. And that is why I think, yeah, I have been wrong, but it's all been due to the Terra FUD. And you can clearly see USD Tether on my chart over here is losing a lot of dominance. But in general, altcoins are not really moving out of the space here. Many people are still holding them as reserve. So let's say there is going to be a cascading effect. There's going to be a massive catalyst. Markets are going to be moving up massively. We're going to get huge FOMO. Bitcoin can recover very quickly towards new highs here and could be easily moved back above 50k because there's still so much money in the crypto space. Of course, what we eventually want is we want to have new cash flowing in, but that usually happens due towards the hype that tends to get generated, right? But yeah, we can clearly see USD Tether lost a little bit of its ground here. It lost approximately from 83 billion all the way down to 74 billion. A pretty high supply loss, of course. So many outflows across USD Tether. And currently, we can still see that outflow is happening, right? Every single day. Today, we lost another approximately 800 million across the USD Tether supply. So that is, of course, a pretty massive decrease. But at the same time, we can see that USDC is really taking over this dominance. But yeah, mainly what we can see over this whole run-up we created here in towards 2022, into 2021 and 2020, we have seen a massive stable supply increase. Why? Is because just many people have been entering the space. We can just see the growth of the network in general, the growth of the usage of the network, the growth of stablecoin usage. It is just a massive growing network, what we should be taking consideration right now. This is, of course, definitely very cool to see right now. So, yeah, we're having a little bit of this decrease, but do know there's still so much money in circulation in this market that could potentially drive the markets higher, and that is why we can get a very big cascading effect here, because people can very easily swap over the USD Tether towards Bitcoin, and that could create a massive cascading effect, right, for the markets. So I bought 10 more Bitcoins recently. You are absolutely the man. Guys, yeah, pretty interesting. Should I stream even longer, guys? If we can reach right now 200 likes within 2 minutes from now on, I will be doing at least another 20 minutes of streaming, guys. Let me know. And maybe I could even do all day streaming. It would be absolutely amazing, guys. So make sure to smash up that like button right now, guys. If you do want me to continue streaming, make sure to do so, because, yeah, maybe we're going to get some other interesting moves here across this market. Pretty interesting. Yeah, indeed. So make sure to smash up the likes right now, guys. Make sure to do so. At the same time, I want to be looking at this, and I want to be doing this. So let me see. Yeah, everything is all right. Yeah, you guys are smashing up the like button. 24-hour stream, guys. I will be still do so, and in approximately 10 days from now on, I finally got my own apartment, and then I can definitely do that 24-hour stream. I think I'm doing it. 24-hour marathon stream in a bear market. Yeah, maybe. I will be potentially do it. Really, I'm really going to do it. I said it like a half a year ago that I was planning to do a 24-hour stream, but right now I finally have my own place, so I can probably really do it. It's way better. Please, Rover, while the S&P 500 is controlling the movement of the market. I mean, guys, I've been talking about this on my recent video. This is, of course, the time to look at it. Look at this. This is the 100 trillion USD. My fellow Dutchman, Plan B. Absolutely legend, of course. And he talks about this, guys. Bitcoin just flashed a dark blue signal. It flashed that dark blue dot. And, guys, look at this. The dark blue dot is so interesting. And guys, make sure to follow me on Twitter because, yeah, you can see I retweet these very cool things here at RoverCRC. Definitely worth to follow me on Twitter. But you can see over here, guys, Bitcoin against the S&P 500 has been always moved together. But in bear markets, or basically in markets where everyone is losing faith, Bitcoin tends to be, of course, moving very similarly towards the Nasdaq and the S&P 500. Sorry, in this case, the S&P 500. And right now, it's flashing a dark blue bottom. A dark blue circle, and every single time that flashes, it flashes a low in the market. And Bitcoin always in its bull runs and in its bull markets, it usually decouples massively from the S&P 500. We're right now not even close towards that stage. That's true, but it is coming. This is not the stage where we're expecting Bitcoin to stay ready to do. This is the stage where we expect Bitcoin to decouple from the S&P 500, right? So yeah, pretty interesting to see what we're having right now. Pretty cool chart from the S&P 5 from the Plan B, of course. But yeah, we can see we popped that dark blue bottom right here, circle right here, and this could be definitely lead towards those higher targets, guys. Thank you so much for the 200 likes. Plan B. Why do I remember the name? Plan Bitcoin. Russell's going to win today. No, Max is going to win. I'm definitely going to watch it today, actually, man. I am a huge fan. And next week, I will be there as well, guys, in Monaco. Pretty cool. If someone is going to be watching Monaco, maybe you will see me. Pretty cool. Today, you think Max will win? Yeah, probably Max will win today. I mean, he's got it under control. BUSD backed by Binance. Yeah, I think BUSD is also a good stablecoin currency. You can also see that BUSD is really growing, but not so quickly like USDC and USD Tether, of course, right? So yeah, we've got it around, but yeah, you can clearly see that the Tether has already been around since 2018 February, right? It has got quite a big track record right now nowadays. And you can also see that really, yeah, the average total supply for these stablecoins just massively has been increasing. So the stablecoin supply is increasing more and more, but I think it's necessary. Like Luna, the US Luna, is terrible. US Terra. But like the stablecoins of USDT and USDC are not so terrible. So I think it's good. It makes it easier, and it makes a good liquidity pool for Bitcoin. So I think it's good. Imagine the fans. Yeah, of course. I definitely hope Science can win, but I just don't think it's likely to happen. One Bitcoin is one Volkswagen Golf. I mean, yeah, nowadays it is, but maybe one Bitcoin is in the future a little bit more. Do you think Bitcoin is right now forming a Bart Simpson pattern? Ooh, maybe reverse Bart Simpson, indeed. Could be potentially. Let me see. Reverse Bart Simpson pattern. Yeah, I mean, we could be forming a reverse one right now. You can see sometimes we create massive Bart Simpson patterns, right? We really love them across the space. Here we saw one, and potentially we will be creating another one. But you can see also over here we could have created one. This was also size for its head, and if we break above this region, we could be looking higher. All means that cash is king currently. I mean, I've been talking about it. I have not said that cash is shit right now. I've said only right now if you put everything together, right? The USD Tether dominance is spiking massively. Many people are just holding their reserves in USD Tether. Historically speaking, this hasn't always been a good buying signal, guys. Bling, bling, bling. There's so much money still in the market. There's so much money still waited to get deployed across the market. We only need one catalyst, and those people are going to FOMO in here. And are you going to jump in towards the market after the FOMO? That's going to be the question right now, right? That's going to be definitely the big question, the what if question. So yeah, I just have nothing else to say about that, right now. And cash is indeed trash. I totally agree. Cash is cash. Cash is trash, and that's just a fact. Why has Bitcoin always moved up so significantly against cash? Because cash is trash. And like, if you don't know already. The dollar index has been historically not so strong against this region over here, right? And if you don't know, if you say cash is king, really, dollars has always moved down against time. Dollars is not your best friend here, right? Cash is always moving down. And look at this resistance zone currently we're trading in. So, do you really think it is going to be moving up here? I definitely don't think so, actually. I definitely think the dollar index, as fast as it can increase, it can also decrease once again. And look at this. We're forming that blow off top right now here. Next week is going to be interesting, guys. Will the dollar keep on strengthening? I personally think that the Federal Reserve will be a little bit more calm because the demand is also coming down massively right now. So it's going to be interesting. Going to be very interesting. Smash up the like button, guys. Yeah, make sure to do so. Christopher, thank you for the reminder for everyone out there. What will be the catalyst in your POV? In my point of view, the big Bitcoin catalyst that we are currently waiting for is an institution that's going to announce their bull Bitcoin. And I personally think that that's also the likeliest thing to right now happen. I think it's a realistic thing to happen right now. If we're going to get just the announcement, let's look back in time, right? We're going to look back in time. Let me go towards the price action for Bitcoin. Let me go to the Bitcoin chart. If it does actually act normal. We're going to look at this day. What was the catalyst last time around? Like I told you, we have seen... let me check out this... Guys, whoa, this is a cool stream. No, but guys... I've been telling you just a moment ago, there's been a high amount of tether dominance and USDC dominance in the market right now. So there are many stablecoins still in the market waiting to get deployed. Like, look at this. Price action is trading significantly lower from all-time highs. Well, compared to the previous all-time high and in the stablecoins that we had in the market at that point, we're still trading higher from that point, because you can see the red line over here. This is the average stablecoin supply in the whole system, right? And you can see that it has grown significantly towards the upside. And at the all-time high, we had an approximately stablecoin supply of 112 billion US dollars in the market. Nowadays, we're having 132 billion. So, in fact, there are more stablecoins in circulation, so that could be still drive the price higher. But the whole big difference from that point towards right now is that if we're going to look at the USDT dominance, for instance, it is spiking massively. We're seeing a high amount of people holding their currencies currently in USDC or in USDT, but not in Bitcoin, because people are afraid. And if we're looking back, look at this chart, every single time the dominance of the USD Tether or the USDC pair tends to be spiking, we tend to see a market bottom, because people are always going to sell the dip, right? It's pretty weird, but it doesn't necessarily happen. It does happen. And you can clearly see always once it is high, it has been historically a good buying opportunity. Also in the bear market, look at this. Once it is low, it could be, of course, spiking back up here. But once the majority of the people are holding their stablecoins actually not in the liquidity pool, but as USD Tether themselves, it tends to be, of course, a good buying opportunity. So take that in consideration. There's much more stablecoin supply, what could be driving up the price. But what we do need right now is, to come back towards my story, is a catalyst in this market. We need something to light the fire. We need a spark to light the fire. And if we look back here at February 2021, we had, of course, the Tesla announcement. Tesla bought Bitcoin. You know what happened? Bitcoin surged up over 21%, 23% towards the upside that day. That was, of course, an absolutely crazy day. And if I can go back towards the 1 hour candles, guys, this is clearly a catalyst in the market, because look at that 1 hour candle. That was an absolutely big 1 hour candle, an approximately 9% move towards the upside. And of course, that day we just moved up so significantly, guys, like 21%. That's a hell of a day. That's a hell of a day. And if we are only going to get an announcement, and that is, of course, the catalyst I'm talking about, of, let's say, a company like Apple, and you think maybe, oh, that's not going to happen, but it is going to happen, because these companies are seeing the high inflation. There is going to be, maybe Tesla's going to say they bought more Bitcoin, because I wouldn't be surprised if they do so, because Elon is an absolutely legend. That's the only thing we need. And of course, all the bears are not going to foresee that. There's going to be a huge short squeeze in the market. Bitcoin, if we're going to get an announcement, Tesla just bought an additional $10 billion in the recent, let's say, few days in the market. You know what's going to happen? We're going to get a huge move. And of course, last time around, it was from, let's say, 40K to 50K. There could be literally a 10K move towards the upside. Bitcoin could move up 35% from here on. And you know what's going to happen afterwards? It's going to be a catalyst. It's going to be a train, a snowball that is rolling. It's rolling, and more, yeah, it's basically what's going to be happening. And the hype is going to return, and That's why we need a catalyst. So something like that, something like a big institution stepping in here. Bitcoin currently dropping below the 30K region right now, guys. It's pretty unfortunate to see, but hopefully we could hold on towards it. Let's see what's going to be playing out for Bitcoin right now. Here, it's really testing the 30K region here, like you can see. But yeah, that's the catalyst I'm currently waiting for, basically. And if that's going to be happening, it will be driving prices much, much higher. And it is going to happen. There's going to be an institution stepping in here. So let's see. 1 USDT, still 1 USDT. Yeah, indeed. The 1 hour about to bring back the bottom of the range. Let's see what's going to happen, man. Let's see what's going to happen. If Bitcoin is going to undo its hard work, it will be, of course, pretty unfortunate to see. It will be definitely very unfortunate to see. But more importantly, guys, if you haven't already, smashed up the like button. Make sure to do so right now. And more importantly, if you haven't already subscribed to the channel, make sure to do so right now, guys. We are closing in towards that 100K target. And of course, look at this exponential rally towards the opposite. But if I'm zooming out, guys, to give you guys a lesson, because I'm very transparent, this is not the period where there's a lot of interest in the market. And you can see, like back in October, where we formed a new all-time high, yeah, the channel went very quickly towards the upside again. Here we moved from 70 to 80K very, very quickly. February also big hype. But yeah, just look at it. Guys, these are the periods that many people don't really like to watch it or invest their time in crypto. Well, in fact, this is the time to be paying your attention. Bitcoin falling below 30K right now, guys. Pretty interesting to see this. Pretty interesting. Hopefully, we could hold on towards it today. One crypto over is 24-hour stream. No, I can't do it today. I have to do some things here. The only trustworthy stablecoin is USDC. I mean, just many people are just in extreme fear about USD Tether. USD Tether came out with their full backing. So maybe in the past, like 2-3 years ago, USDT was a little bit more less transparent. But right now, they're completely transparent. So no, I disagree with that. Bullish divergence only 1 hour likes. That's pretty nice. Bull flag on subs incoming. Guys, will be cool. I mean, if Bitcoin really is going to move towards new high. Oh, whoa, this is going pretty quickly. 29.9K, guys, right now. So on the 1 hour time frame, it looks a little bit less worse, but 15 minutes time frame makes it always looking a little bit more worse. You can clearly see that. Yeah, it is indeed very strong, the correlation between them, the S&P and Bitcoin. But what we can see is that it is on a point where Bitcoin has historically been also decoupling from. So Bitcoin has several decouplings from the S&P and the US 500. And right now, potentially, it could be true. Once again, happening. Respect the pump, hate the dump. That's definitely true. So yeah, we're currently looking at, of course, a potential retracement once again across the markets. Let's see how the market is going to react towards it. Let's look at the 4 hourly time frame, right? 26 more minutes to go before closing it. And it's going to be pretty important to see Bitcoin really continue towards the upside. Not a big wick getting created here. Could be, of course, spell some more weakness, of course, right? So it's going to be important to see how this 4 hourly candle is going to close in 26 minutes from now on. Looking at Bitcoin, we could be looking for potential upward sloping support line right about now here, guys. You can clearly see this. So we formed, of course, this upward sloping support line. And, oh, Bitcoin is bouncing. Whoa. It is bouncing. I'm going to sit right up for this. But like you can see over here, upward sloping resistance line. Right now we had a perfect touch. So let's see if we could get that movement from here on back towards higher regions. So it's going to be pretty interesting. 15-minute perfect touch. On the 15-minute time frame, yeah, you could be, of course, argue, yeah, we can be looking a little bit differently towards the support line. But Bitcoin back above 30K again here. So it's getting bought up very, very quickly. Pretty interesting. But mainly, I will be looking at the support line from a 1 hour perspective right here. Let me see. I will be definitely look from it from a 1 hour perspective right now. Also, good range to close above here. Yeah, if we're really going to talk about the 4 hourly time frame, I need to see a close above the 30.4K in order for a bullish confirmation. Even though 30.4K is not really enough for me here, I would like to see, of course, a close above 30.5K, and 30.6K will be even better, right? So, yeah, we're just going to casually wait. Make sure to follow me on Twitter and, of course, in my Telegram group here to stay up to date about all the live updates on the market. Yeah, let's see. If you... Next week will be... I mean, guys, if next week won't be green, it will be pretty interesting, right? We are forming right now a record-breaking 8 consecutive weekly candles in a row being red. That's a pretty bad record, you know. So 8 consecutive weekly candles in a row red is not something to be proud of, but it is pretty a big achievement for Bitcoin. Pretty big achievement for Bitcoin. Buyers creating liquidity for further short opportunities. Potentially. Could be. We will be just waiting to see what's going to be happening. Of course, I will be just casually wait for Bitcoin to see what is going to be breaking towards. Bitcoin just has to be, of course, choose a direction eventually on this 4-hourly pattern. And we are going to see massive volatility, guys. It's just a fact. You can't deny that. It's going to be either towards the upside or downside, indeed. And of course, we are just going to be casually look at where we're going to be heading towards. And of course, we are just expecting massive volatility due to the Bitcoin index, the volatility index, really, telling us that it's pretty likely to get that volatility entering the market, right? An agreement on ADA and Solana down. I am bullish on XMR. Yeah, you could be so. I mean, I'm very careful with altcoins right now. I mean, one more very red candle means the next one must be green. I mean, guys, that's what we have been keep on telling ourselves for the whole time, right? So, I mean, currently, I still will be waiting to see how this weekly candle close, right? Because, you know, it's very interesting. If we're going to look at the Sundays, right? Bitcoin always moves up on Sunday evening. So, let me quickly address this, right? So, tonight on 10 o'clock, so over here on this candle, I'm expecting a massive move here. This candle over here, this orange line, you can see this? This will be a massive candle. Probably a green one. If we're going to look back at the 15th of May on that candle, it's this candle. If we're going to look back on the 8th of May, let me see, 8th of May, 10 o'clock, what's this candle? So you can see clearly the 10 o'clock it's always been a very, let me see, that's the 8th of May, sorry, this is the 8th of May, let me look back to the 1st of May. The 1st of May on 10 o'clock, yeah, you can see also, once again, big candle. So there's usually high volatility getting created on the last 2 hours, the last 4 hours of the weekly close, right? So last 4 hours of the weekly close are always going to be very volatile. So please, that's what I'm expecting again here. That's exactly what I'm expecting again here. So 1st of May, 23rd of April, let me see what it was doing over there. It was also pretty high volume. So, yeah, we tend to be seeing high volume and, of course, high volatility in towards the weekly close. So, let's see what's going to be happening right now. It will be pretty exciting to see. Last week around it happened as well. And, of course, historically speaking, I'm saying this because I know that the Bitcoin does this several times before. Always at 10 o'clock candle. For me, 10 o'clock. So, last 4-hourly candle of the week, it tends to be pumping massively. Or dumping. I mean, it's at least forming high volatility. High volatility, that's the point I'm trying to be making. Hey Rover, there's been some news regarding to Facebook using Lightspark to utilize Bitcoin for payments. I don't quite get it. This could show Facebook likely to be stacking on Bitcoin. But that's already a thing I've been expecting. I mean, have you seen the post that Mark Zuckerberg did? Like Mark Zuckerberg Bitcoin. Like in the past, he did a lot of things with Bitcoin. He posted a lot of stuff. Look at this. My goats are named Bitcoin, Max and Bitcoin. You can see it on the right side. Can I zoom in well enough? No, I can't. So you can see this picture is about Mark Zuckerberg saying, yeah, he calls his goats. Let me open this on a new page, right? Here you can see it. He did this. My goats, Max and Bitcoin. He's already been involved in the cryptocurrency space. He's working on NFTs as well with Instagram. Like, this guy is stacking up on Bitcoin for sure, guys. I mean, this is just... Many people are stacking up on Bitcoin. Only the media is not showing you that, and only many people are not talking about it because the rich individuals are not going to talk about that they're owning so much Bitcoin, because they will be only do that if they have enough. If they have acquired enough Bitcoin, they will be start talking about it, guys. Believe me, that's the only way, the only point they're going to talk about it. Elon Musk is not talking all day about Bitcoin because he doesn't have enough yet. And so on, so on, so on. Also for Mark Zuckerberg, he's not going to talk about Bitcoin. He's not going to pump the price so he can buy a little bit more expensive. No, he's especially not talking about it because he can right now buy cheap. And of course, guys, we're talking about billionaires. We're talking about the most richest people from the planet. And they are stacking on Bitcoin, and they're not talking about it because they don't want you to be buying cheap as well. These tech billionaires, yeah, I mean, this is, yeah. Let's see what these tech billionaires are indeed pretty odd. That's true. That's true. So yeah, it's pretty interesting. Coming out publicly though can have a big bit of an effect. Yeah, true. It will be having a massive effect, but they won't do that because they don't have enough. That's the whole point I'm trying to be making here. Hey Rover, what's up? Definitely not Luna. No, definitely not Luna. I mean, look at Luna. Look at this, guys. Google Trends. Let me talk about Luna. Luna Crypto. Look at this. Look at this Google Trends here. Let me go to worldwide. Let me go to the password. Look at this. This is the Luna Google Trends. That's pretty epic, right? Pretty epic. Look at the last 30 days. It had a massive spike in terms of its search volume across Google. And Singapore is mainly the country that has been searching it up here. Cyprus as well. Like tax haven Cyprus is searching it up as well. But like you can see, many people were very excited about Luna. Moved up very quickly. Move down also very quickly again. So it looks to me the hype is a little bit over for the Luna stuff here. Less search terms right now coming up for Luna. So do know that probably the hype around the project is also going to fall down a little bit here. Of course, Luna 2.0 is going to be one of the biggest disasters out there, in my opinion. It's going to be probably one of the most I mean, I hope I can short that because I'm definitely going to look doing that because I don't like it at all. So let's see what I'm going to do. How long will you be streaming today? I mean, actually, I don't really think that I will be streaming much longer right now. I think I'm about to wrap up the stream here because, yeah, I still have to do some things here. And I also want to be watching Formula 1 later today because, yeah, guys, Formula 1 is going to be happening. Max Verstappen on the first row, so it's going to be interesting. Oh, really? Oh, really? Oh my gosh, I see it. Oh my gosh, look at this. Okay, yeah, for the people that are Dutch, they understand this. Sneller stijger. That's pretty interesting for all my Dutch followers. That's pretty weird. I mean, people are actually doing that. I'm not going to say because probably YouTube is going to be blocking me if they say that. But yeah, people are searching that up as well, apparently. I do get it. It's absolutely terrible. If you put up your life savings in Luna, you lost all your money. I'm Dutch. Yeah, I'm definitely Dutch, guys. I'm so Dutch. You can't get a more Dutcher guy than me. That's true. Yeah, that's true. Duggart, that's pretty weird, Duggart. I'm not going to give you a shout out. Hype over for Luna, only up 100%, you say. Hype is definitely over for Luna. You can just search it up on Google. That these are the facts I'm sharing with you guys. I'm sharing you the facts. I mean, it's so funny that people like get so excited about a 100% increasement in Luna while it is still down so massively. He's saying the hype is over for Luna, but it is up 100%. But you know what's funny? If you just look at the Luna chart, right? You're maybe say, oh, but it's up 100%. But like when did you buy? When did you buy? Look at this. It lost all its value once again, and it's right up again, and it will be probably fall again very hard. I just make up your mind. I mean, look at this. If the chance is 10 times as big, you're going to lose money. It's still 56% down from its high. It's massively down still. Yes, it is up today. But if you just bought a few days ago, you will be still down here. 4 days ago, 5 days ago. Only if you, of course, bought in this region here, you would have been lucky. Volume is coming down. Search volume is coming down. It is just running out of hype. And it's also going to be running out of money that people have available to deploy in this freaking system, you know? And yeah, that's the point. That's the point. I just have warned you several times before about Luna. I've been calling this stop exactly. This stop. You can search back on my stream. This was, of course, the time to sell. And I said it to everyone out there, and everyone called me, oh, you're ridiculous, you should you should invest all your life savings in Luna. I'm very happy I didn't do so, and of course I'm very happy I warned my audience about it, because it fell all the way down here, and you would have lost again 80% of your value from the high to low. And let me pick the exact high here, because I was literally streaming on this high, and people were saying, buy now before it's too late. You would have lost another 60% of your money, and of course, if you were holding Luna before, you already lost 100% of your value. So, like this is such big of a red candle that I have to zoom out so massively. Like you can see. If it doesn't matter if you bought it here or here, you would have been down. Literally, I'm using control, so the sticking thing. You would have been still down 100%, and there's not a lot of coins that can go down 100%. It's only Luna that can do that, because many of these coins can only go down 99.9%, but Luna can do it in minus 100%. So be careful. Be freaking careful. I'm just saying this once again. A hyperinflated coin is just worthless. And the volume has also been significantly come down, guys. Look at this, significantly come down. And you may say this is a big hype for Luna once again, but you can clearly see the volume is way lower than last time around towards the upside. So the volume is coming down. It is not really a time for me to look excited for Luna. And it's still trading below that 0.002. So it's not so good. I shorted Luna all the way down. Congratulations. Why is Luna pumping right now? Is this good time for 100%? I mean, why is Luna pumping? I actually don't know. I've not read about Luna today. So let me quickly go first of all over Twitter and see what is going on here, because probably many people are once again talking about Luna. But no, I should not buy it. I should still stay away from it. I still think it's risky. Crazy that Binance lost 1.6 billion. Yeah, that's true. $1 billion market cap. Yeah, I mean, there's not really news. It's just hype. But no. It's like many people are talking about bullshit here. So no, I don't really have a clue about why this is pumping right now here. I mean, it's just once again probably hype, and people are talking about it again. But yeah, please be careful. Are really going to help Dow Jones pay his taxes off, because that's literally what you're doing. So yeah. Let's see. So anyways, guys, right now, I will be wrapping up the stream, and I will be making one promise with you guys out there. Like I told you, I'm expecting potentially that tonight will be volatility once again turn up for Bitcoin, because that's usually what happens on the Sunday evenings. If you want to be joining me with another live stream tonight, if there's going to be market volatility, I will be jumping back live with you guys out there. So make sure to subscribe to the channel, smash up the bell notification so you will be get notified, and follow me on Twitter and Telegram. All the links in the description, guys, where you can find me, of course, talk about even more stuff. So anyways, guys, thank you so much for watching towards this amazing new update here on the channel, and it has been absolutely a pleasure for me talking to you guys out there about the market. It's been absolutely another very big pleasure. But anyways, guys, thank you so much for watching again today towards this episode, and we'll catch you guys on the next one. Peace out. Goodbye.